What's poppin', y'all? It's Amber Symone, and I am back with another Keep It Cute podcast episode. This episode is long overdue. I have one of my best friends from high school, middle school here, Miss Lauren Lewis, aka Laylo, aka Laylo with the flow, lead low, whatever you want to call her. Lauren, how you doing today, boo?
I'm feeling so good. You know, we're in the beautiful Culver City this weekend to celebrate our other girlfriend's birthday.
C's Candy.
It's Sierra's birthday. Happy birthday, boo.
Shout out to our girl.
Shout out to our girl. Yes, I'm feeling really good. I love being around. It always feels like love whenever I come here. It feels like a second home.
Aww.
So I love being around you.
Yes. Honestly, so many people, every time they come here, they're like, this is the family home now. So me and Brandon, we moved into a house last summer and we have a guest bedroom. We have like 3 blow-up beds. When we have friends travel from anywhere, they always stay down here. We got the drinks ready. We got the warm blankets ready. We got the hot showers ready. Lauren was just talking about how our water get hot. I was like, I don't think my showers don't be that hot. I got eczema. I can't have my water that hot.
It's giving devil's spit, okay? It's hot, y'all. It's so good.
Okay, y'all. So Lauren and I have known each other since middle school. We did cheer together in high school. And then Lauren took a little hiatus from all of us.
I did.
She went off to college like a lot of us did. I feel like we all kind of grew our own friend groups. And I think once we graduated college, it was last year, 2022, and I had my 24th birthday. And I feel like that really was a reunion for Lauren and I and Sierra. And it just was like, I remember my mom running up to us and she was like, oh my God, it's so nice to see you 3 together.
I know.
And she literally started crying. I was like, all right, that might be the tequila. And my mom don't drink. So I was like, she was just bawling. And from that moment, we've had so many link ups this year.
Yes, it's felt like, that's why it feels like home, because it's like you just come from being in college. I was in school in the Bay Area and coming down, like I wasn't really coming down for the birthday on the weekend for a day or anything like that. I came down for the holidays. So really living in San Diego and being in and out of Southern California, it's just
she close now.
I know, yes. So you have to link up.
I know. And this summer we actually went to this event called the Link Up. If you're in LA, you got to go to the Link Up. Andre Power typically DJs. It is an amazing event. Great event. The music, Andre Power as a DJ in general just blows my mind. I saw him at Coachella. Not the uns. It's a little uns, a little R&B, you know. Yes. It's a little flavor to it. It's different. But I'm ready for this summer.
I am too. Because you know I'm moving to LA.
Uh-oh. Is that a teaser on the pod, Lauren?
That might be a teaser.
Look, is that pre-summer or is that summer 2023 coming
It's
soon?
giving August.
August. Okay. So post-summer plans. I guess. Anyways, so we're going to jump into our first topic of the day. Lauren is getting her master's degree in marriage and family therapy, and we got a lot to talk about today.
We do.
So Lauren, when are you graduating?
So I graduate in May of 2023. I'm super excited.
Now.
So I am in my final semester. Grad school has been hard. Grad school has been tough, but it's definitely been worth it. I'm so grateful for my experience, and being around my family just makes things sweeter.
Yeah, and you're almost done. Like, I just remember being a student, and when I see Lauren and Brandon studying, even today, I'm like, it's Friday, it's 5 o'clock. I'm supposed to be at a happy hour somewhere, and they're sitting here writing patient notes. I said, oh no, this is not the vibe for Friday. I was like, let's put on our pink jammies, pop a shot, and hop on this podcast.
Hop on the pod.
And hop on the pod.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so we about to take it back to 20... Dang, when were we
started
freshmen?
in 2011.
2011 was our freshman year.
Yikes. It's been 10 years since past 10
No,
years
I know. I'm like
10-year
reunion. That's insane. So we started high school 2011, and Lauren has always done her. It's always been her. Like, she is like an independent woman. She does it for herself. And you know me, I done hopped in a relationship when I was in middle school. I was like 8.
Before we knew fractions, y'all.
I was like 8. That's a dramatization, but seriously.
2-step equations. Amber had a marriage.
Stop. I do not remember Lauren being in a relationship. And I remember me and Sierra, like Sierra's 10-year anniversary is next year, which is insane to me.
Yes.
I'm like, 10-year anniversary? Girl, people can't make it past 2 months even.
Child.
We done read stories. Go watch a previous pod. But we done read stories about people in 2-month relationships talking about doing long distance and so forth and struggling. If you are struggling that early in the relationship, it's just not meant for you.
Yeah, it should be fun for at least the first year.
It should be fun honestly, it should stay fun.
Yes.
Just like today, Lauren saw, so Brandon's parents are adorable. They're in their early, let me not tell their age, they're gonna be mad at me.
Midlifer.
They are in their early 30s.
Yeah.
And they went on a cruise today. Just living life, loving life. It's his dad's birthday. And I heard Lauren say, like, is this the secret to like happiness and like marriage? Like, just have fun.
Yes.
And honestly, it is. Like when that little fizzle kind of dwindles down to nothing, it's like it's draining and it's lifeless, unfortunately.
And psychologically, the more you laugh, the more serotonin you release, the more endorphin you release. You feel good. It's the thing that keeps you going. It's the thing that keeps cortisol, which is the stuff that gives you heart problems. It keeps that down. So laugh more, have fun more, and love more.
No.
Which is like our topic for the day, no?
It is. It is. Love more and maybe love a little less.
Maybe a little more.
Love a little less. All right, back to high school because Lauren about to get me off track and she don't want us to get back on this road. Long story short, Lauren, what do you remember from high school in terms of your romantic life? And I guess you never really were in a serious relationship. So I guess, what was that like for you?
In high school, I feel like I was very much to myself. Shout out to really my dad, because he was not having that, okay? He was not having no type of romance, no, he was not playing that. And also, just like, shout out to the kids who had a lot going on in high school where you wasn't really thinking about
being tied down.
You wasn't really thinking about that. You trying to get, oh no, not the new boys.
Shout out to Victorville. Look, put them on the map.
Put them on the map. They put us on there, okay? But yeah, shout out to the kids who had a lot going on, who just didn't, want to express themselves sexually for whatever reasons and things like that, and romantically or like affectionate. It just wasn't something that I was used to or felt comfortable with even until I got to college, honestly.
Yeah. And honestly, like I mentioned earlier, in high school, I never saw Lauren in a relationship, which is fine. Like you do not need to be in a relationship in high school. But I remember when she went off to college, and then as the years went on, Lauren outbeat us all. My girl was in a 7-year relationship.
It was.
After, not really being in a serious relationship in high school whatsoever. And I guess was it a major switch for you? Or did you really say, I want to see what this is like. I want to experience this. This person is cool and I'm open to it.
Yeah, so shout out to my ex. He's a good man, even though we're not together. Him and I, when we met, I felt very comfortable. So I felt very much like I can share like a lot of the things that I hadn't shared with anybody before, and he could relate to them. A lot of people call that trauma bonding.
Yeah.
But I guess in my 18 and his 19-year-old eyes, like we were just very in tune with each other, where it was like I didn't have to say things for him. I didn't have to explicitly say things to where he got it. And same with him to me, which was new and comforting, honestly. So yeah, then, after you spend some time together and you like this person and you feel safe around this person, you get in a relationship with this person and you stay together.
No, of course. And the other day, like, it's not a jump to a different topic, but Lauren pointed out something that's so important. It's like, ladies and maybe men as well, stop acting like you're married when you're not married.
Yes.
And like all that's to say is don't give so much of yourself if that person's not matching that energy or even doing more than that. Yeah. And obviously we all are not all. Some of us may be trying our hardest to stay in certain relationships, but really if that person is not matching you, then let it be. Because just like, what does it really look like for women who are acting like they're married in their early 20s? Little do they know this is probably the first of their relationships. I guess, what are some examples you've seen?
Right. So I just want to, before even answering that, like, I grew up in a household, again, my dad was not for that. And my mom was very much like, you are single until you are married. So even, it didn't matter. I had a cute little 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
15
year
years
anniversary. If I did not have a ring, I was a single woman. So I kind of carried that with me just as my own teachings. Not that you out here acting wild, but you out here like, you know, this doesn't have to be my forever person. And it doesn't have to be the person that I'm bounded to for the rest of my life just because I met them so young and they get me and everything, all that good stuff. So I guess what it looks like when you are, you know, starting to act as if it's a marriage before it actually is. For me, I will say it was really finances. You start putting finances together. That's one. 2 is you're starting to overextend. Felt like I was not overextending myself, but I was extending myself in my kindness because I love somebody so much that I would do whatever they needed me to do, or because I felt they would do the same for me, and they did. And I didn't realize how much I was extending, I guess, until we broke up, and now we have to divide things. I have to give you back what's yours, and it's like, you're not even married and you're having to call certain people to get you two separated, like, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are some things that I was like, wow, we were really locked in. That was a really, you know, a real thing, which I am grateful for, even though it ended, you know.
Definitely.
But it's a good learning experience, I think, for me and for him, so young.
Yeah, I'm like, every situationship, relationship, friendship, no matter how it ends, I think there's always learnings to take from it.
For sure.
Like from anything, even if it was like the worst thing that has ever happened to you, it's also a reminder like, oh, bed, won't be doing that again. Like I will vividly remember this experience and make sure I do not redo this in my lifetime.
Right.
And it's funny you mentioned your parents. I'm like, I wonder if it's an old school thing, because me and my partner have been together for 5 years and we do these anniversary photos, and I tell my grandma, I'm like, Grandma, yeah, it's our 4-year anniversary, it's our 5-year anniversary every year. And I tell you, she loves Brandon to death, but she just laughs. Like, she literally,
it's the littlest thing to them.
She just laughs. She's like, you are so funny. Like, you are taking this so, and I'm like, Grandma, this is serious. I'm like, it is 5 years. You don't understand. But meanwhile, she's been married for like 20, 40, 60, 80 years and whatnot.
Okay.
My grandma's not that old. She's a hot girl. Don't worry about it.
Shout out to Granny.
Miss Wanda Faye.
Shout out to
popping
Miss
out
Grant.
in the furs.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Wanda.
No, but for real. And I think about that all the time. I'm like, dang, that's kind of rude. But maybe from an older person.
That's kind of rude.
No, it is. You disrespecting my anniversary every year. Every year.
Weak as hell, y'all. Oh my gosh.
Year. And I'm just like, all right, I guess from an older person, and I know she's going to hate me calling her an older person, but you know, a more experienced, a more seasoned woman.
Call them seasoned.
A little seasoned woman. They, in their eyes, are just like, 5 years, child, like, that's nothing.
It's nothing.
And I think in addition to that, I'm also at a point where everybody's like, where's the ring? Where's the ring? And I'm like, y'all need to chill out.
Yeah,
I'm like, even too, like, for me, I feel like there's certain boundaries where I'm like, I'm not married. I know I'm not married. And obviously I live with my partner. We do certain things together. But I say, like, right now, for example, our finances are still separate, but we split bills. Like, there's a lot that goes into that in the whole splitting situation. We're going to have to bring a man on this podcast and talk about that one.
We got a man in
Look, we got to talk about that one. But it's different because I'm like, he's a student. I'm in my career. Like, and there are certain things when you notice sometimes it's an investment for your future. You never know what that looks like. But at the end of the day, I'm not married. And, you know,
and
he's putting it on the line. I'm putting it on the line. And just trusting that person in that experience.
Yeah. And that's a hard thing to do. Especially if you're, you know, used to not trusting people. You're used to people letting you down. To trust in a partner that they're going to be safe or protect you, emotionally be there for you. Like, those are big things that it's like, those are some big shoes to fill. And I think the problem is, not the problem, but the thing is with that is like, you're so young filling these big shoes, these big voids. And I think in my personal relationship, like, I had some voids that my boyfriend was filling at 18 years old. And it was not maybe the best for him to be filling those voids. It was cute to have fun, like puppy love, because that's really what it is when you're a teenager still.
Yeah, that's true.
It's even, you may have gone through some deep things together, but it's like, it's puppy love, it's sweet, it's cute, versus like, you already ride or die at 18 years old, child. Like, how are you riding and dying at, I'm gonna die every time. 26 years old, newly 26-year-old. If you have me riding and dying, I don't know about that. You want me to die?
Why are we dying? Why are we dying?
I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to be married and have the long caption of, we've been through so much.
Yes.
It's been so hard, but we've overcome.
No, I hate those captions with a passion. Like, at this point, just say, I cheated and I'm so grateful for you right now.
Yes, I'm grateful for your forgiveness at this point.
I'm grateful for you to have forgiven me.
I fucked up the money and you were still there for me.
Nah, it's a hot mess. And even thinking about like today's relationships, they are very, very different than like my grandparents type love that I saw. And obviously it could be a 50-50 thing. Like, there are some things in the past that I'm sure were just very toxic. Because when you think about it, in a household, women had certain expectations, men had certain expectations. And honestly, now Gen Z, early millennials, they like
blurring the lines.
No, seriously, the lines are very, very blurred. Women and men out there chasing the bag. Women and men are setting their own boundaries and expectations. It is very different from what it was like in the 60s.
From
and
our
dating
role models.
People. Exactly.
Yeah. That is where it's like, you know, that's why there's no right or wrong with it.
Yes,
like, if you want to go to work, go to work. You know, you should feel supported. You should feel confident. You should feel kind. You should feel like you're spoken to nicely. You should feel safe with this person of all things, because people rely a lot on love. Like, oh, I love him so much. He's so sweet. He just, that's going to go away, shorty.
It only goes so far.
You listen to me. It's gonna go away, shorty, and you're gonna have to be left with your respect. And if you don't have it, what do you have? If you're left with safety and you don't have safety, what do you have? Kindness goes a long way. If you don't have those things, your love is not gonna get you to like this person for, and the vow says what? Till death do you part. You think you could ride on just love till death do you part? I need respect, kindness.
Speak on it, Lord.
I need all of those other things. Yeah. Communication, trust, like that this person really has my back, not just, oh, he just loves me today because I'm so beautiful. Like, that's weak. I don't want to say that's weak, but like, that's not solid.
No, definitely.
That's gonna change.
And it's like, love should be at the foundation of every relationship and the way it moves, and not even just what does love look like, but it's like, do I respect this person when things get dark and rough? What do our conversations or our arguments look like in those dark times? Is there still love there, or is it a bunch of hate? Is it animosity? Is it violence? Like, what does that look like in those rough times? When you want to say this person loves me, you're looking at, do they love me when times are extremely rough? Do they love me when I'm annoying as all get out? Do they love me when they are annoyed and tired and sleepy? What does that look like outside of La La Land? Yeah. It's like,
because La La Land is great.
Everybody's gonna say La La Land is great.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, those are the times where you have to see your partner in every season. And when you see them in every season, you have to decide, do I like how this person treats me in every season? Have I told them how I want to be treated in every season? And if you have, and there's still no adjustment, and the option is stay and get over it or leave, that person already made their mind up. You gonna stay and get over it, or you gonna leave? which one are you going to do? And you have to make a tough decision.
You do. You got to do what's best for you at the end of the day.
You do.
All right. So I want to run it back to Lauren's 7-year relationship. I really want to focus on what it was like transitioning back into the world of endless opportunities and really what it was like being a hot girl right now. But Lauren, what did that look like for you? I guess, really, how did you know when it was coming towards the end of the relationship? Obviously, you guys are on good terms right now. Like, there's no bad blood. You're adults about it. But really, in terms of, I don't know if I want to continue to pursue a romantic relationship with this person.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit earlier about how love is like not enough. And then there's respect, communication, trust, and things like that, which to a degree I felt very confident in. I think one of the things that I could not get with was the fact that, so I went to graduate school. I moved from San Jose to San Diego, right, for graduate school. And he stayed in San Diego, so we're now, or excuse me, San Jose. So we're now 400 miles apart, right?
Yes.
And the things that I paid closer attention to were routine. What is this person's routine like? What are the things that they do daily? And what are the things that I do daily? Are they difficult for him to do daily? Are they difficult for me to do daily? And I had to kind of look at that and see, like, our routines are not lining up. So eventually, after a 2.5-year program, almost 3-year program, you're going to eventually start to not align anymore.
Definitely.
So that was something that was a big thing. Another thing was, honestly, when I was younger, and even now, like, I journal still, but when I was younger, if I didn't have my journal with me and I just needed to get my thoughts out, I would write them in my phone.
Same. Actually, y'all, I might need to put a lock on my phone.
Yeah,
I write even my dreams. Like,
yes.
And what I started to do is, like, not just traumatic or like sad moments,
happy.
Which I used to journal about a lot, but like the happy moments, because I forget those very easily.
Yes.
I think we all do.
Yeah, and that's why I decided to like start to journal on my phone, because I didn't want to miss like happy moments.
Yeah.
Because if you look at some of my journals, it'll just look like it was all bad.
Yeah,
like
you're like, so we need to call
like,
somebody.
when was the happiness? Yeah.
Yes.
So for myself, when it was things that I was either happy about or sad about in my relationship, I was going through my notes and I was trying to delete storage, like most of us, right? I was deleting storage to like make room or whatever. And I was going through all my notes and I was like, this note that I wrote in 2017 is something that looks like I could have written in 2022 in the very present moment. So it's the same things I was complaining about or having an issue with, rather.
Yes.
When I was 19, 20, I'm still having an issue with at 25. That's not right.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I wrote it down, that means I thought it out. That means I probably told you about it. And nothing changed.
Yeah, and it meant something to you.
Yeah, and it was just like, really for me, it was like, bitch. you see that? My inner self was like, girl.
Yeah.
You wrote that when you was 19 and you were 24, 25 years old. So that's when I started to like feel like I don't know if this is how I'm feeling, but let me just write it out a little bit more. And let me sit and listen and bring this up. And if I bring it up, my problem to anything that's happening and the solution is get over it or leave, you're very firm in your decision. And you have your right to be firm in your decision. And I have my right to say if I want to stay or leave. And I decided to leave. Yeah, because when you're alone too and you start having your own routine, there's like empowerment. There are moments of loneliness. Not loneliness, but like alone. Because I never felt lonely. I have my friends, I have my family and things like that. there are times when you will miss your family that you had in this person. And we also had a dog, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
my boy Sokka, and he's been like my love. But that there are moments when you start to miss your family, and there are moments when you start to say, I think I can do this like alone, or I think I like going to the gym, not because my boyfriend brought it to me, but because I actually like doing it, you know? So there are things that I started to acquire on my own of being like single living in San Diego, like by myself, just like not focused on any other man or anything like that. Just like I'm really empowered in like doing things by myself.
Yeah.
And when I felt confident in that, I felt okay leaving, you know?
Definitely.
So that's the place that I'm in now. And that's why I cannot speak poorly of my ex or of anything that we ever had, because I think it's kind of clown shit to be with somebody for so many years.
Yeah.
And you talk poorly of them. Even if it did end poorly, like I feel like that speaks more on you than of the relationship.
It does. Like, this person occupied so much space in your life for so many years. And obviously there may have been a moment where, you know, that wasn't the best of us, or this is not how I want to remember us. But when you move forward, it's like honestly, I really want to believe that the good outweighs the bad for the most part.
Yeah.
And like when you move on, and you have to look at when you start dating other people, always ask them about their ex, and how they speak about their ex speaks so much of their character. Are they sitting here trashing this person, calling them out of their name? What does that look like? Or do they say, you know, I don't want to get into it.
We had a difference of opinion.
Yeah, we had differences and we moved on.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's just certain levels of maturity there. And you learn that as you grow, because I definitely will say I have never seen anyone, at least in my high school days, we had differences and moved on. No, it was a word match.
Yeah.
And as you get older, it's not that necessary.
Yeah, because it's just like if you really moved on, like you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to do that. You just can say that and then there are levels, because it's like what I would tell, like, for example, a man that I meet, I would probably tell him like, oh, we just had differences and we decided to move on. We drifted apart. That might be what I say. Versus like how I talk about with my girlfriends who I've known since I was 12 or 13. I'm gonna talk to them a little bit different, like a little bit more in depth, but even
a little bit
in
more
that,
freely.
a little bit in that freeness and in that in depthness, I'm not gonna go off and be like, oh, he was this XYZ explicit bleep bleep bleep. He was this that. Like, I'm not gonna talk about him like that, because I would hope he wouldn't talk about that about me, and I would hope that like we don't have that anger, that sort of
like
animosity.
it's a mutual understanding that we needed to go our separate ways,
and he knows why and I know why.
Exactly.
And that's what's the good thing, is because it's between you and I in our relationship. If you know anything about me, I'm not on social media with the booze, okay?
Lauren don't be. I'm like, she in a relationship or
yeah,
no?
they be like 2 years in, like, oh, are y'all dating? Like, boo, it's the third year at this point.
Yeah, Lauren was like that.
So it's just like really very much like it's between you and only you and I know like what happens. So there's I don't feel the need to like go and tell other people the story of what happened.
Yeah, that's like that's also, it's unnecessary, because then like you open up a door that it's like, do I want everybody in this room? Because then they start adding their own opinions and expectations and what they think happened, or, oh, I heard this. Like, we don't need all that. We don't need all the
real
hands in the pot.
too. Stepping aside, like back to love, like that's real love, is when you'll still protect a person that may or may not deserve your protection, or you still hold that person in high regard, regardless of how anything ended. Like, you can still acknowledge the relationship you had in a respectful manner.
No, definitely. And like, Lauren, you spoke to, getting used to not being lonely, but forming routines and habits by yourself. Do you feel like once you started forming those in San Diego, you felt more free or empowered and like, you know what, like this is a good feeling, I want to do more things on my own and I haven't experienced this in a while?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I missed of any of that was like just protection, like just like having somebody who I could call if I needed them to pull up for me real quick.
Definitely.
That's what he was very good for, like, you know. So with my homegirls and just being able to go out and enjoy ourselves without like having it be like, oh, we about to get this nigga's number, this nigga. We about to
your city girl too.
Yeah, like I'm not really trying to do all of that because I've been in a really real relationship and I know what it feels like, you know. So forming those relationships with people, it's like being in kindergarten all over again. Like you learn how to make new friends. I was in a new city. I met all new friends. Doing things like that are by yourself, you know, and enjoying it. I feel like now if I met a man, even if he was like super into the gym, if he was like, yeah, we're going to go to the gym and do my workout, I would be like, but I want to go do my own workout.
Boy, bye. You
like,
do not need to lift my weights.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we can go together.
Yeah,
but we can split up and come back together, you know, and talk about it later. Like, you know, so it's not like I need you to motivate me to go do something, because this is genuinely something that's in my own personality now.
Yeah. I even think too, like, even if you're not in a relationship, it's really important to find that level of independence and make sure that you can still incorporate that when you do find a partner.
Yes.
And you're not depending on them for every single thing that you do.
Yeah.
Because for me and like my partner, our schedules are crazy. But I was even saying, if I was super clingy and super, you have to be with me 24/7, it 100% would not work out. But it's nice because we still have our own thing going on and we're leveled in a way where we know when it's time to connect and we set aside intentionally to do these certain things together. But it's important because I'm home like all the time, y'all. Hit my line. I'm home all the time. I'm FaceTiming everybody at all times of the day. And like, I'm here solo dolo. Even growing up, I always say this, but I grew up an only child and now I do have siblings, but I miss the entire realm of being, you know, a child with siblings. All my cousins at the end of the day, they go home. I got sad, cried, played with my doll by myself. There's a photo of me on a carousel by myself, and my sister laughs all the time. She's like, this is like the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I'm on this carousel by myself. And I feel like ever since I was younger, I've always had to implement being a little lonely. And like, I think when I was younger, it was more so lonely. But as you get older, it's like finding the joy in just being alone. I know everybody's like, stop FaceTiming people, stop calling people throughout the day. But I'm like, I be in here, be silent. I want
pick up every time.
Interaction. Lauren does. Lauren be hitting my line.
I be like, 7:30, girl, what you doing? What you on?
No, Lauren will pull up. That's one thing I will say. She will pull up.
Yeah, and
from San Diego, y'all.
Yes, and I don't care.
No, y'all, San Diego, that is a mission to just be driving back and forth. That's in like a
2-hour drive, and I'll come here like really the most times I came was like 2 times in a week or something like that.
Yeah, Lauren be in LA.
Happy out here, like when friendship or fun or love calls, like like love as in my friendship, don't get it twisted.
Yes.
So when that calls, I'm out here. I'll come, like, I don't care if it's like, oh, we're all doing this and we're just chilling at the house. I'll be like, okay, bet. Pull up to Moreno Valley, pull up to Riverside.
My door is always open, seriously.
Of course. And that's like, this is the kind of friendship you can't
pull up.
You can't buy that.
Not all y'all, but pull up.
Hold up. Slow down.
Pull up.
But no, it feels really good. So I think that's been one of the biggest factors in me feeling comfortable and being single again and reconnecting with my friends and having people to talk to about what dating is actually like, because this is like, I left the dating world at 18 and went into a relationship
War zone.
and came back out. I'm 26.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different world out here. And there are some things where it's just like, oh, that man fell off. That's just what dating is. I'm like, but I thought he said he liked me, or I thought this and this happened, or I thought, you know, you have these expectations, but it's like, you know, you have people who you can level with and talk to that are like, no, I think that's pretty normal, and you won't feel alone or lonely. That lonely feeling.
And I think too, like, people are always looking for more now, and it's like inherently ingrained in the way that we date in dating apps, where you have a sea of thousands of people where it's like swipe, swipe, swipe. Oh, I connect with this person. We had a great bond. We have the same interests. You're beautiful. And then ding. Oh, someone's a little bit more prettier than you, or a little bit more successful.
Yeah.
And it's always like, what else can I get? It's like a more competition.
Right.
Versus how am I actually connecting with people in real life? And everything is so virtual still.
And instant.
And it's not intimate at all.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing either FaceTime calls, you know. I hope a very small number is getting catfish, because I know people are still out there getting catfish. Unfortunately, there's so many resources and tools to try and figure people out.
Right.
And like when you
Google.
go, yes, girl, you can find anything on Google.
Right.
Like people, when I tell you now, I done found my siblings on Google, but I'm like, you type in names, you find actual how like addresses on Google, you find whose aunts are connected. Like it's actually a lot of
whole
information.
family tree.
Yeah, you don't need to pay for Ancestry.
No, you don't.
You
23
don't even need it.
But that I think like that sort of you mentioned intimacy, I think earlier, and that sort of intimacy that you find trust in with other people who are outside of your friends, and they are like love or romantic, I would say, not loves but romantic. It's just like very you can be a little bit selective, I guess, in how you take that, because there is so much instant gratification. There is so much immediateness. Like what I be calling them before was popcorn people. Like they gonna pop in and out of your life, stuff like that. And it can be, you know, you can keep searching and searching and think you getting more and more higher salary, more better looking, this, that, the third, better car, better job. And you could do that all day, because there's always going to be somebody. It's always going to be that way.
But do they have the same heart?
Do they have the same heart? Do they have the same values? Do you connect? Do you laugh? Do you flirt with that person? Does that person make you feel giggly? Not everybody could do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And just because they have $10,000 more, $100,000 more, you may hate them and think they corny.
Girl, speak on it. So I want to get a little bit into Lauren's singleness. We talked about all the relationships and dating, but honestly, y'all, I'm really living through Lauren, because like I have no desire to be single again, but I am like loving this era that she is in. I've never seen it, and I'm just like, wow. My girl got it. Lauren is literally on her fitness tip, on her health tip. She's a hairstylist, hair forever slayed and laid. Like, that's why y'all had to get my hair done. I said, I can't be on this podcast, Lauren, here all laid, and I'm looking up here with a little crusty ponytail. Like, edges popping out. Hold on. No, but for real, like, Lauren is, at least in my eyes, I'd say it's like learning to really love on yourself and do whatever brings you joy, and like really sporadic moments of happiness. I feel like Lauren has really taken advantage of. So how has that transition been from being in a relationship and then obviously going into the single life? You're about to graduate. Like there's a lot happening for you. And I guess, how does that feel for you?
I feel like sometimes I don't even realize like what other people realize of me.
We see you, girl.
Yes. And I think like shout out to one of my homegirls, one of my college roommates. Lauren, her name is also Lauren, spelled like Lauryn Hill, who, when I got around her family, she would say like, oh, they really enjoy being around you and they really like this, and this about you. And like, whether it was like from her aunties, her uncle, her cousins, whoever, siblings, it didn't matter. When I started hearing like positive things about myself that I hadn't heard either in a long time or at all, that's when I started feeling like, you know, maybe this won't be so bad, or like maybe this won't be so lonely.
Yeah.
So I feel like doing those things, like you do have your, like I said, like, you know, you have a 7-year relationship who we had a dog together and all of that. We treated the dog like a daggone baby. Okay.
They showed it. Sokka spoiled.
Sokka is spoiled. He had a diaper bag. He had a schedule. He has insurance.
Look, where the stroller at?
He
I'm waiting
basically
to see
had
it.
everything that he needed, you know, and together between me and my ex, like we partnered that dog, and that family piece, like I filled with friends and I filled with love that wasn't romantic, but love that was familial and familiar. So
sense.
I've done like the reconnecting. I feel like March, April, around the time when I was linked up with you for your birthday for the first time.
That really was like the birth of like a whole new era.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you forget like these people are safe to be around, and these people are your friends, even though if you haven't been around them for a couple of years, it's like these are people who you feel comfortable with. Remember that feeling?
Yeah.
And it's like you just want more, so you just meet up again and again and again. So it's like I did feel like I had to fill my time with love that wasn't like overwhelming or overbearing or anything like that. Getting into my own routine. So if you know anything, you call me at 7 a.m, I'm probably in the gym. I'm probably going grocery shopping. I'm probably going to class. I'm probably cleaning up. I'm probably doing my own thing. And when your other friends can kind of clock what she's doing or what she's doing around this time, or even better yet, you wake up and you get on your phone, and you get in your car and it says 10 minutes to 24-hour fitness. 5 minutes to Trader Joe's. When you start having a schedule like that, your phone can detect, it's like, okay.
You know me.
You know me. And that means I know myself. That means I've made a routine with myself inadvertently of like, I haven't had to set a schedule. This is just something I do at this point.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel confident that I can do those things by myself, that I know that like, I'm taking care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally. The person will come.
They sure will. And it's like, I feel like it's so cliche, but it's so true. And I don't know why it's true. I don't know the science behind it. But when you are thriving and not looking, some man or woman comes swoop up in your space. And now all of a sudden you off the market.
You off the market. But I'm not in a rush.
Anytime soon.
Nah, I'm not
Lauren is not looking. She's
hold
not
on,
looking.
hold on.
Look. She said, hold on, who watching?
You might want to low with the flow. Like,
No, look.
okay, but it's like, I'm not like, oh my God, I gotta find my husband today, tomorrow, next year. I'm worried about being 30. Like, I'm thinking about being 30, flirty, and thriving. I'm thinking about...
I'm ready for our 30th birthdays because I know we going up. Like, I'm so excited for our 30th birthdays, even though we got a few years. But
we got a few years, but it'll be so much fun. Like, just enjoying small things in life. Like that.
Definitely. And doing it together. Like she said, it does not have to be romantic, but like these platonic friendships or older friendships that you have grown to love and feel so safe in.
Yeah.
Because just like my birthday when it came around last year, I feel like I've hung out with pockets individually and I've made sure there's certain people that I kept in my life, but when we all got together it felt so familiar, like
all the way down to elementary,
you know, very, I don't know, like it's like those friends where you can go a year, 2 years without talking to them, or even like a few months without a FaceTime, but when you pick up that phone, it's like, girl, what you doing? Cooking, doing this, blah blah blah.
And that's
like
how
it's so familiar
with me, you and Sierra. To me, it's like we scheduling
I know. We schedule our phone calls.
Yeah.
Adulting 101, y'all.
Yes.
That's how you keep your friendships, because we all busy.
We are all busy.
Like, I promise you, everybody's busy to some extent,
Busy,
but there is
tired.
no excuse to never make time for your friends.
Yeah. Because after a certain point, it's like, I don't think you want to make time.
No, seriously. Like, can't come to the phone. You don't join the call. Like, it's like signs like that, but like I have not experienced that with neither one of them.
Yeah.
And like it's just like certain qualities where you're like, this is what I seek in an adult friendship.
Yeah. It's different. It's different from high school to
It
college.
is.
Because college,
honestly,
too,
I feel like I know you a lot more now, Lauren.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, did I really know you in high school?
I'm like, no, because I was so to myself. I was like, not talking, trying to talk. I didn't talk too much. Now I talk all the time.
Oh yeah,
Hello,
Lauren
podcast.
be talking. Lauren be talking. We gonna have to cut the tape. All right, y'all. So as the pod is slowly coming to an end, I want to kick off a little segment, and it'll be a little, do you want to answer this or keep it cute? So I'm going to ask Lauren a few questions, and Lauren, you can either go into detail or you can either keep it cute. Now, we're going to start real light on this segment,
Okay.
and I'm going to see how y'all like it, but let's kick it off. So what do you wear to sleep, and how often do you change your pajamas?
So one of my 2023 resolutions was that I was going to be wearing matching sets to go
grown
to bed.
woman era.
And nightgowns, which I already wore a lot of the time. I'm transitioning from the big t-shirt ladies with, so now I wear matching sets and I change my pajamas every other night.
Okay, solid. Next question. When are you too old to have a nose piercing?
Never.
As we see, Lauren loves her nose piercings, y'all. She is like the most exotic nose piercings. When she's 65, I know I'm going to see Lauren with her nose piercing. I have no doubt.
It's going to be a star. I change my nose piercing every day. I really don't know. I don't really feel there's an age. My mom got her first tattoo at 50, so.
Really?
52,
I love
yes.
that for her.
Shout out Franny.
Hey now. What's your favorite Drake album, Lauren?
So many great albums, but I think one of my favorite ones was technically not an album, but the Care Package is what I feel like I go to the most.
Okay, some people would go to bat on that, but
okay, that's what Lolo said.
And what is a song by a woman you sing with your whole chest?
Ruby Rose, Big Mouth.
Uh-oh. Y'all see what genre she in, y'all.
I love Ruby Rose. She's my girl.
No, she's
That's
very
my friend.
cute. She your friend.
She my
you got
friend.
her on speed dial. She said maybe. She might slide in the DMs. You never know.
You never know.
Okay, and last and final question. I feel like this is very relevant to everything that we talked about today. But what do you do to feel sexy as you continue to grow older?
I think one of the things that I do to feel good about myself, period, or feel sexy is keeping myself up. So my hair, my nails, my toes, like that really makes me feel very feminine. Also, like taking myself from situations that could be potentially toxic, whether it's like just friendships or conversations. When I feel that sort of animosity and I'm like, I had to go to the bathroom or something like that, and I eliminate myself, that makes me feel very confident that I'm like, okay, you acknowledge this and you stepped away from that.
Definitely. I love that you at least saw it for what it is and removed yourself from the situation. It's what they call growth. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And thank you so much, Miss Lalo, for joining me on my Keep It Cute podcast. You will definitely catch me next week. And don't forget to follow your girl at the Keep It Cute pod on all socials. And make sure to tap in on YouTube too. Good night.
Good night.